root is the main directory on Linux. Under root we have different types of subdirectories. So one by one I will explain. Slash etc, the configuration files location. So all the configuration files in Linux are located under etc directory. Slash bin, the binary executable files location or normal user commands location. Slash sbin, the administrator commands location. Means normal user commands are located under bin directory. So administrator commands run on sbin directory. So normal user cannot run administrator commands, but administrator can do anything on the server. Slash usr, the system files location. Slash lib, the library files location. Slash opt, the third party packages location. Slash root, the system administrator home directory. Slash home is the Linux user's default home directory. So in interview point of view, any question will ask what is the default home directory of Linux user. Default home directory means if you are not assigned any home directory, automatically it will assign slash home. Slash root, that is administrator home directory. So normal user home directory is different, administrator home directory is different. Slash tmp, the temporary files location. Slash var, the system log files location. Log files. Slash boot, the portable files location. Slash dev, the logical device names location. Slash sys, slash sys, the physical device names location. So this is the complete structure of Linux operating system. So root is the main directory in Linux. Slash is the operating system directory in Linux. Slash is corrupted. The entire Linux operating system is going to be corrupt. But at the time of installation of Linux, with slash, we can also give some other partitions like in Windows, so D drive, E drive, F drive. In Windows, if C drive is corrupted, the data in D drive, in E drive, and F drive is safe. Like that in Linux, slash is corrupted. I need to save some data, important data. So those are called file system directories. Like in Windows, we are calling as a drives, D drive, E drive, F drive. Like in Linux, we are calling as a file system directories. Now, what are the file system directories in Linux? With slash, which directories we can give at the time of installation of Linux? So, these are the file system directories. Slash boot, you can give with root. Root is compulsory. Slash is the OS. That is compulsory. These are optionals. So, depending upon our requirement, you can use the optionals. Slash boot is optional. Slash usr separately we can give. Slash home separately we can give. Slash opt separately we can give. Slash tmp separately we can give. Slash var separately we can give. But no need to give all the file system directories in all operating system, all servers. Depending upon the usage of the server only, you have to use the options. So for example, you are going to manage user management server. So slash boot slash home we can give. So third party package management server slash boot slash opt we can give. Syslog server slash boot slash var separately we can give. So which purpose we are using servers? So that related directories only we can give as optionals. Unnecessarily don't give all optionals on same server. Database servers. So /tmp you can give separately. So like this we can give the optional partitions at the time of installation of Linux. Now we can see the installation process of Linux operating system. Generally, whenever you want to install operating system, we need hardware. Like you are buying laptop or desktop, then you are taking Linux CD or DVD, the installation process is going on. So that is physical. But nowadays we are in the virtualization environment. So in virtualization environment, no need to disturb your hard disk. So you can install VMware Workstation software. By using this VMware Workstation software, so we can install the number of Linux operating systems. See here, number of Linux operating systems. So these are machines I created by taking the help of VMware Workstation. So no need to pay single rupee. Just you have to create a machine. You can install the OS. Now I am going to create one machine to install the OS. So open VMware Workstation, which is a small software you can install top of the Windows. Click on File, New Virtual Machine. Machine I am creating because we need machine to install the OS. So option, select the option typical. Select I will install the operating system later. So which operating system? Linux we are installing. So you can also install Windows, Novel NetWare, Solaris, VMware ESX server, others. So I am selecting Linux. So Red Hat Linux 6 version we are using 664-bit. Select that one. Click next. So browse where you want to keep your virtual machine files. So I want to keep in my D drive. So any C drive also, D drive also, where free space is there, you can keep. Make new folder. So give the folder name RHL6 8 p.m. for example. Okay. Click next. By default 20 GB of the space it will take. It is enough to install Linux for practicing purpose. Select to store virtual disk as a single file. Click next. Click on finish. See, one machine is created. Red Hat Enterprise Linux 664-bit. So right click on this machine. Now we need software. Machine is ready. So software we required. Right click on the virtual machine. Click on settings. So this is the hardware, virtual hardware. This is called virtual hardware. Our laptop is physical hardware. Top of that we created virtual hardware. Top of that virtual hardware machine we are installing Linux. So memory 2 GB, processor 1 processor, hard disk 20 GB. We have a CD DVD drive. We have a network card. We have a USB controllers. Sound card is there. Printer is there. Display is there. So everything when you buy a machine, you can get these things only. So I need to select the software now. Select CD or DVD. Select use ISO image file. Click on browse. Now where your software is located, go to the drive. Click on softwares. My softwares are copied here. So Red Hat 6.0 image. Click on open. Now click on OK. So image is selected here. So machine is ready. Software is also ready. Now I want to install the operating system. Now power on this virtual machine. Now the installation process will start. So welcome to Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6 install or upgrade an existing system. So select first time we are installing Linux. Select first option, enter. Skip the installation media. Skip the installation test, CD test. So your ISO image or DVD it will check, it will take 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Skip the media test. So running Anaconda. Anaconda is the Red Hat installer name. What is Red Hat installer? Anybody ask you the question, you can tell Anaconda. Click next. So select the language English. Click next. Select the keyboard language US English. Click next. So what type of devices will you install? Involve basic storage devices, specialized. Specialized means storage area network. Generally, operating system we are going to install in basic storage devices. So click next. So first time it detecting your hard disk, initialize that one. So click on reinitialize. So here what it is asking, host name. So host name is nothing but a computer name. So please name this computer. One name you can give, network identification name. Server 8 I am giving. Server 8. So click on configure network. Means you have to assign one IP address. So whenever you want to communicate one system to another system in the network, we need one IP address, Internet Protocol address. So for this system, we are assigning, click on configure network. So this is in network card name, system ETH0. That is the network interface card name. So select the network interface name, system ETH0. Click on edit. So check the box connect automatically. So if you are not select this one, every time if you reboot your operating system, you have to give the command to up the IP address. Once you check this box, automatically it will up while booting only. So now we are using IPv4 settings, Internet Protocol version. The default method of any operating system is DHCP, automatic. But we are going to learn servers. So server IP addresses should not be changed. So always assign a fixed IP address, static IP address, or manual IP address. Technically, if any word that is fixed, manual, static, you can assign. So method of IP address change to manual. Add address 192.168.0.8 I am giving. So this is C class private range IP address. These classes of IP addresses we are going to learn in our coming classes. Enter. Click on apply. Click on close. So host name server 8, IP address we given. Click next. So time zone you can select Asia Kolkata. Click next. Root password. Root is the administrator account name in Linux. In Windows, the administrator account name is administrator. In Linux or any Unix flavors, any Linux flavors, the administrator account name is root. Means username is root. Now for that user, you need to assign the password that is called administrator password. So I am giving red hat. Red hat. Click next. So you have provided a weak password. It is used on a dictionary word. Click on use anyway. Select create custom layout. So custom layout means as my wish I can do the partitions. So any one of the above options you selected. So automatically it will install. But I need to do partitions manually as my wish. Select create custom layout. Click next. So this is the logical device name of hard disk. SDA is the disk name. Like in Windows disk 0, disk 1, disk 2. In Linux SDA, SDB, SDC, SDD like that. So we have only one hard disk, that is the default hard disk SDA. So in this hard disk now we are going to create the partitions. Now click on create. So here options are the standard partition is there, software RAID. So not at now, we don't know now, just now we started to learning Linux. What is RAID, what are the advantages of RAIDs, we don't know. So we are not going to select this option. LVM. So LVM also we don't know now. Up to now we are going to learn. But initially we are starting the installation process. So select standard partition. By default it is selected. Now click on create again. See mount point. So technical word in Linux we are using as a mount point. In Windows we are calling as a drives. C drive, D drive, E drive, how you are calling. Linux we are calling as a mount point. Say a mount point is nothing but a storage address of our data. So now we are doing partition. So what partitions you are going to do, where they are going to store the data. So you have to configure. So mount point /boot. File system type is ext4. So default size is 200 MB. 200 MB is enough because for bootable purpose, 200 MB is enough. Okay, first partition is created. Again click on create. Same, repeat the steps. Standard partition create. So now what is the operating system directory in Linux? Slash 10,000 MB. Because slash is the operating system directory, you have to give more space. File system type Linux file system. Yesterday I explained ext4, ext2, ext3. Those are old versions. Nowadays we are using ext4 or XFS. So select ext4. Now second partition is created. Now create another partition, click on create, same standard partition. Again click on create. So now I am going to give /home is optional because we are going to learn Linux administration user management commands. So user management we are separately learning Linux administration. That is the reason I am taking the special partition for /home because all the Linux users default home directory is /home. So 1000 MB you can give. So practice purpose that is enough. Okay. Now yesterday I explained you virtual memory in Windows automatically it will choose virtual memory. In Linux while installing the operating system we have to provide the virtual memory. So click on create. Again click on create. So memory based file system yesterday I explained you disk based, network based, memory based. So memory based file system we are going to select. So file system type swap. See mount point is not applicable. So we are using as a storage like memory. So that is the reason no mount point. Swap is a virtual memory. Some of the disk space we are utilizing as a memory. So 1000 MB I am giving 1000. Click on OK. So partitions, 5 partitions are created. So already explained you first 3 partitions like Linux will take primary. Whatever the free space is there, it will occupy, it will create one extended. In that extended, it creates one logical partition. Now this is the free space. After installation of Linux, if you want to install any part, if you want to create any new partitions, if you want to format the partitions, mount the other, that is a disk management class which is going to discuss in our first class in administration. Click next. Format the partitions. Click on format. Click on write changes to disks. So bootloader option, install a bootloader on the disk. So logical device name of disk STA, this is the path. Already structure I explained, all the logical device names are located under dev directory. This is the complete path /dev/sta. So automatically the bootloader install on that particular disk because OS we are installing on the disk. Click next. So here the default installation of Red Hat Linux is basic server. So you can optionally select any different set of softwares. So if you want to use database server, database packages install. Web server, if you select web packages install. But whatever the option you selected, we can do all the administration tasks. But separately, if you want to select any one of the software packages, you can select. So I'm selecting desktop because I need a desktop experience. But if you log in desktop only, we can use the commands only, no graphical mode interface configurations. But I want some desktop environment. So remaining whatever the options you selected, so every time your Linux operating system boot into command line mode. So I need desktop mode, there I can open terminal, there I can do the practice. So here package selections. By default, the required packages automatically it will select. But if you want to select any customization, so if you want to select your own packages, while installing only. Customize now. So here base system, all checkbox packages are already selected, they are going to be installed. So compatibility libraries not in FCOE, hardware monitoring utilities. So Java by default is selected, Java platform. Network file system client by default is installed. Perl by default is selected. So servers, by default servers cannot be selected. We have to install the packages while we are going to servers. That is we are going to see practically. Web services, PHP support, web server packages not installed, web servlet engine not installed. Not installed means not selected. If you select, they will install the packages. Databases, MySQL server, PostgreSQL server database. Database packages also not selected. So what you require, that only you select. Unnecessarily, no need to install all the packages on all the servers. System management, messaging server, mail servers, virtualization packages, not selecting. Desktop we selected. See, already desktop environment we selected. So applications, text support, technical writing, graphic creation tools, development tools, desktop platform development tools, server platform deployment, like this, depending upon. So languages already we selected. Like this, depending upon requirement only, we can select the packages. So I'm not selecting any additional packages. After installation, depending upon my requirement, I can select the packages. Click next. So installation process is starting. So installation process, it will take 10 to 15 minutes time to install the OS. After that, it will reboot. It will ask you to reboot the server. After rebooting, it will ask you post installation steps like a license agreement. So do you want to register with RHN, means license to registration, and date and time. When you want to create, you have to create the date and time, you have to change the date and time, and you need to create one normal user account. Then the login screen will come. Then you have to log into the server. Desktop mode will come, but you are not going to do any configuration with desktop. So each and every configuration in Linux, we are going to do command line mode only. No graphical user interface. Remember, this is today's class. Tomorrow, post installation steps of RHEL6 and installation of RHEL8 server, the latest version of RHEL8 also I will show you what is that installation process. So somewhat difference is there, installation process. So tomorrow I will show you. If you have any doubts, please ask me. Is there any doubts? Please ask me. So tomorrow post installation steps of RHL6 and installation of RHL8 is the tomorrow's class. Okay, thank you. Tomorrow we are going to communicate. Same time.